In this episode, I am finally getting the viewing panels for my 2,500 gallon tanks. The guys are socializing monitor lizards and building fences. Hopefully the zoo will be ready to open up on November 1st. This here are my phantom red-tailed catfish. They are so brightly colored you can enjoy them looking from the surface, similar to what you would enjoy koi in a pond. But it's not the same with every fish, so viewing panels are mandatory.
Well, the first thing we have to do is we got to get the fish out of the tank. So they're coming tomorrow. All the fish has to come out. I'm going to let Andrew, KJ, and Tom work on it. I'm going to go see a turtle breeder down in Fort Pierce.
We are working on moving some of these fish temporarily while these bigger stock tanks get construction on them. So they're going to be adding viewing panels to the tanks so that you guys can see the fish a lot easier without having to climb up on anything and look down inside. So they'll have awesome big viewing panels, which means they have to get cut open. So in order to do that, we're going to drain these down like you see, catch all the fish, move them into other tanks temporarily, and then get to construction on these. When we put them back, you'll be able to appreciate them a lot better and look through the viewing panel.
This is a big day at Holt Nurseries. I'm finally getting my windows. These are my windows right here. They're acrylic panels, polycarbonate panels. We're putting in my big tanks. I'm finally setting this up, so I'm gonna see all my fish. And look at this. You see this? We're taking all the fish tanks, we're making windows here, and we're gonna finally be able to see all the fish. I'm so excited.
I have hired Royal Custom Builds of Orlando, Florida to install the viewing panels. The first thing they did was to trace a template. I always thought that cutting out the viewing panel from the fiberglass would be the hardest part, but it went rather quick. So quick, in fact, I missed it. I was on a business call and they had them all cut out by the time I hung up. The first thing we need to do is rough up all the surfaces, both on the polycarbonate panel and on the fiberglass tank. This will allow the silicone to adhere better. There are holes drilled every 5 inches for hardware to secure the polycarbonate panel to the fiberglass. We are using 3/8 inch polycarbonate, and ratchet straps were needed to get the polycarbonate to bend to the shape of the tank. We then added silicone to the fiberglass tank. We put all the hardware in place before we lifted the panel up into the hole. As the bolts were tightened, the silicone fills the gaps between the polycarbonate sheet and the fiberglass. Now we have to wait 7 days to fill the tank. We are doing 3 tanks in 3 weeks, and on October 1st, the 3,400 gallon tank is coming.
Hi everyone, we just got several bags of fish from my friend Joe at Blackwater Creek Koi in Eustis, Florida. We're gonna put them in the pond here. So when we have guests come here, we can have some fish food and they can feed the koi. So what we got here is we got 300 6 to 8 inch koi. I'm gonna acclimate the water a little bit. We'll do 50% the pond water, 50% their water. I think they've only been bagged up for an hour or two, so there shouldn't be a lot of ammonia in here. Here, Jordan, you wanna help me out? Give me some water. Okay, they're big, hardy fish, 6 to 8 inches, so they look pretty good. We'll just give them 2-3 minutes, and then we'll release them. So what we ended up doing here is we ended up putting 2 buckets of water. So I think we got about 15. We got 5 gallons of the koi fish water. We got 10 gallons of the pond water. This pond here is 40 feet by 30 feet by 3 feet deep. I calculated it to be about 27,000 gallons. I'll keep an eye on it. If I see the fish coming to the surface at all, I'll put some aeration in here. Hopefully it's the right amount of fish for this much water. Okay, that's bag 1, 5 more to go. Just want to say once again, thank you, Joe, for helping us out. Joe, Blackwater Creek, Eustis, Florida.
Here we've got our male Bell's phase lace monitor. He's a little bit of a shy eater, but Jesse's gonna offer him a piece of chicken and we'll see if he has any interest. So, oh yeah, he is on fire today. Look at that. Quite the opposite of the female's feeding response today, which is great. He's gonna choke that whole thing back, so that is a great sign. We've noticed he's been looking a lot at her through the exhibit and sometimes has been refusing food, and we assume that that's why, but lately he's really picked back up on his feeding, and he is slamming food. He is a little picky though. Sometimes we offer him a chick, a quail, or a rat, and he turns his nose to it, and you offer him some processed chicken thighs and he just jumps all over it. So he's got a funny personality and he is a little shy, but he's not hissing, huffing, or puffing today. He's just letting us get right in his face, so that is great. We'll continue to see what else we got for him, Jesse. Try another piece of chicken, and then maybe we'll get into some of those bigger rats if he wants to keep eating for us, but he can eat until he is full, and that's totally okay. We like to gut load the lizards at least once a week. Nice, good grab. So monitors are always growing and they are always constantly shedding their skin, but he does have a little bit of stuck skin on there, and we've been slowly getting it off since we got him. But now that we are installing water spigots to all of the exhibits, we'll be able to hose him down as part of our daily animal care routine and make sure his skin gets nice and moist. He does get in his water dish because we can find poop in there all the time and we clean it out, but being able to spray him off is going to help his skin a ton and loosen that shed right up off his hands, especially where it sometimes gets stuck on the fingers with a lot of lizards, but soon we'll be able to just hose him right off. And all right, what do we got next? A rat? Let's see if he wants to have some healthy food instead of just the processed chicken. He loves his junk food. Oh, we got a chick here. We gotta mix it up for him a lot, you know, he's very picky, but he refused the rat and the chick, and we had one more chicken thigh, and he went right for it. So, funny guy, just loves his junk food. Earlier this week, he was eating whole quail, so he is still getting his good nutrient fix in, but just such a funny guy when it comes to being picky about food. It's normally not a thing with big monitor lizards, but funny personality on this lace monitor. Okay, so we've got our female Bell's phase lace monitor here, and she's just kind of checking out all the different smells, probably from some of the other animals on my leg. So let's hope she doesn't take a chomp. But she hasn't had a huge appetite today because she did eat a pretty big meal earlier in the week. So we like to offer twice a week. But on top of that, we are starting to have a shift in season here. We have days coming up that are the low of 70 at night and only getting as high as 82, and that's normally does not happen this early in the year in Florida. So it may just be a little wave that, you know, is going to get hotter again and stay warmer at night. But as of right now, you can tell just that slight temperature difference has really taken a big toll on the appetite of a lot of the animals that we keep outdoors here at the facility. So she has her plate of food right there. We offered her on the tongs, no interest. We even put it down for her to, you know, eat on her own, and she's pretty much just not interested in food. But if you look at her body condition, it is excellent. We're not too worried about her missing a meal. So we just kind of let her come hang out. Look how far she's come with the desensitization. This lizard is just so cool. She has one of the coolest personalities of all of our monitor lizards. And she could swing around and bite me whenever she wants to, but she's just nice and calm. She knows we don't come in here and manhandle her or try to hurt her or force her to do anything. So just nice and calm. Lets us pick her up, put her right in the sun to bask a little bit, and then just get back out of her way and let her do her thing. So that's okay that she wants to miss this meal. And I'm sure she'll pick back up on a big meal next week when we're back at work.
All right, so what we're doing is continuing our desensitization training. We've done a lot of work in the enclosure up until this point, but right now we're gonna see if we can walk him out of the enclosure, walk him around, and bring him right back in. And what we're doing here is try to keep his attention on the rat or the guinea pig, pull him around, and in he goes. He earned that one. It's gonna help us keep his attention when we have other guests here. And hopefully when you guys come and visit, you'll get to see him run around and do a loop and chase a guinea pig just like that.
Got the tongs there. There we go. So he did pretty good coming out of his exhibit, chasing the food, stayed focused with a lot of distractions out here, construction, people working, people walking by, all that. So he's definitely focused on his food, not acting any different, not acting flighty, which is always a possibility when you add a new factor into training with a monitor. It could scare them, freak them out, or they see an opportunity to escape and try to bolt, which me and KJ are ready for. So he's gonna take that piece down, and because he's only getting 2 pieces today, we're not gonna give him a third to lure him back in. So we'll just show you how far his training's come. He's got a mouthful of food there. You can pick him right up. Put him in, and then he'll finish that bite right there, down the hatch. Cool, so what we'll do on Saturday for his next feeding is we're gonna try to take him a little bit further outside of the cage, and we're also going to use multiple smaller prey items. That way he can not get full so quickly. We can try to walk him all the way down there and back, and we'll use chicks or mice so we can get multiple pieces out of the session here. But that was a quick little 5-minute session. You want to keep it quick and simple with them because they do get full and lose interest. So that was a great first time out of the exhibit. He didn't try anything. He didn't get scared, nervous, reactive at all. So we'll only continue to push this training further, and to the point where he's just going to be following us around the property, and he'll be like our pet dog.
Who's a good boy?
All right, guys, we are trenching some dig out barriers for some class 1 crocodilian enclosures. So for those of you who don't know, crocodilians can dig, and our inspector here in our area wants to see a 36-inch dig barrier. So that's what we've done by shovel, 36 inches on all sides. And we're going to be burying some 11 gauge wire down here. That way if we have any erosion or if we have an animal that likes to dig, they will have to go over 3 feet underground to escape this. So chances are it is not happening. I know it does seem a bit overkill, but you can never be too safe when you're dealing with class 1 and class 2 animals. Nobody wants to have an escape on their hands, right? So this is what we do to prevent things like that. Got to get in there, boots on the ground, shovel in the dirt, and trench out some dig barriers. All right, so we are stretching one of our last pieces of game fence here for our alligator perimeter fence. So what is this crazy contraption that we have here, this 4x4 post? We attach our game fence to it, and then you'll see in a separate video how KJ sets up the ratchet straps to pull off of an H-brace post, which you can pretty much figure out what that is. And your fence runs. Right now it's saggy, right? Because we haven't pulled it tight and nail gunned it in. But I'll show you a finished side of it to where, voila. Look how straight and tight that fence is. Has no play to it at all. I'm pulling on it. And this is a really long run too. So again, you'll see in another video how the fence gets pulled. It is a lot of redneck engineering and hard work, but the finished product, I mean, it came out beautiful. This whole run is really nice, and we haven't even put the fence ties in. On here, the state requires steel fence ties to connect your T-posts and your game fence. So we do steel ties, 8 ties on each T-post, and our fence requirement is a minimum of 8 feet tall. So that's what we're working with here on the fixed knot game fence, an 8-foot tall fence. And another H brace at the end. We come out the other side, and you can see another run that we've done there, just with wooden posts in the ground instead of metal because we have a softer ground here. But yeah, this is it's coming along really well, and this is going to be the perimeter to our gator pond right here, the main attraction at our soon to come zoo. So stay tuned, and once we get this fence up and this pond concreted, you guys can start booking your tours.
We will see you next week, and don't forget to like and subscribe.